Hello everybody, I apologise that I don't have a top-down view. I mucked up and I didn't bring the attachment for my camera with my tripod. I wanted to just share this deck with you. Let's see if I can get it in. I purchased this because a lady called Liz from West Star Tarot, she talked about this. I think she's done a review of it herself. She was talking about this deck and I saw it and I thought it might be a good deck for me to help me to begin processing my diagnosis. And so this is what this journal is for. What I'll do is I'll give you a brief show of some of the cards that I picked out, and then I will show you the rest of the cards as well in case you're interested in the deck. How I approached using this is that I went through the deck slowly and I just sat and tuned in and just noticed which cards elicited a strong emotional response in me. I may use the deck differently in the future where I shuffle and pull cards randomly, but for this initial way of using it I wanted to just really connect in with the cards that resonated and I felt were applicable to this sort of stage of my healing and my processing. It's the same creator who did the Gentle Tarot. Now I don't have the Gentle Tarot. It was weird, I was never interested in it when I saw it at the time. However, early last year she did a Kickstarter for the Gentle Tarot Dream Edition, and I think she's revised some of the colours, and for whatever reason at that point I thought, yeah, I think I'd like that deck, so I've backed it. I think it's going to be posted out in the next few months. So these are some of the cards that I've chosen that I have left to journal with. This is the guidebook. The creator said that she created this deck for her own healing journey, and at the front of the guidebook she does say she recommends to go through the cards without referencing the guidebook to enable your own interpretations to come through. And so that's what I've done. I've not looked at her interpretations at all because I want them to come from me. If after I have worked with all of the cards, I may then go through her guidebook just out of interest to see what, where the images came from for her. But at this stage, I don't want to colour my own interpretations with using the deck with her interpretations. So this is the bottom of the box. Again, that's an image from another card. The back. It's a nice box. These are the card backs. I don't know if you call that foiling? Gold foiling. That's lovely. I won't go through every single card that I've journaled about. I will pick a couple. So this is, I kind of got this far. So what I did was I used, show you that. I've had this for a few years now and I've used it on and off, but I'm so glad I've kept it because I find it really just nice if you can take photos of something and stick it in a journal. So it's been good for me to be able to take photos of the cards that I've chosen and journal about them, and I've generally sort of stuck to a couple of pages because that's all I felt the need to write about. And I am finding it really helpful actually. I don't know about you, but even though I do, I write my journal every day, but having images to journal from for inspiration and to get my thoughts going, I think having an image just helps me tap into, I don't know if it's like a deeper part of me, or I think it's just a different part of my thought process rather than just the logical word, if you like. Let me just, because there's a couple of cards that I did want to just talk through that really stood out for me. So there's this one, I'll put it up to the camera in a minute because I know the light's not great in here. And which other one? Oh, there are so many good ones in this that I've chosen. Okay, we're going to go with that one. It's quite difficult. Well, let's do three. Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to labour these. These are the ones I've yet to journal with, so I'm just going to keep these over here, but I will show you them separately. So this card here is called Dream. This is the card that evoked the strongest emotional response in me. And I suppose I should say that, the images, I guess, decks, whether or not we buy a deck is dependent on whether we connect with the artwork. I get that. Don't be fooled that this is a nicey, fluffy, cuddly deck, because this certainly made me feel a lot of feelings so far. But this card in particular really evoked a strong response because I think I might have spoken about it in my video where I talked about my cancer diagnosis, but receiving the cancer diagnosis really kind of it has stopped my ability to just dream and think about the future and fantasize about what I'd like to do and places I'd like to go. And I'm not saying that that has gone forever. I think just the initial shock of all of this, it's made me think, well, can I plan for the future, or is that always going to be tinged with a sense of, well, what if I'm not here for that thing that I want to do? And so there was a lot of sadness I felt around this card, that loss of the ability to dream. But I liked the hands that are holding out this figure, because those hands for me are a sign of hope. It's like the hands are offering out that hope to me to say, look, you will be able to dream again at some point. And it's not that I have stopped planning for the future. In some ways I've used it as a motivation to do things that I might have been putting off. I think right at the beginning, this ability to dream was just, it felt like it had been ripped away, and I do think it's slowly coming back. This card, I think the creator, because I did see some videos from the creator, and I think she might have ummed and ahed about putting this particular card in. I mean, I love it. I think she was wary about putting something so cutesy in the deck. So this one is called My Beautiful Innocent Heart. This card for me represents the need to protect, to censor how much I share with people. And I hate having to do that. I feel like I've had to do that a lot of my life, not share how I feel for fear of upsetting others, you know, not wanting to displease others, even though it left me feeling alone, that I couldn't share, that I was struggling. I think with this, I'm realising that there are people that just cannot cope with the diagnosis, and whether it's a lack of understanding or whether they just don't really know what to say. There's a lot of clumsiness, there's a lot of pithy phrases and positive sayings that are, you know, they're being said to me, and if I'm going to be honest, I just wish they'd stop. Just stop saying it. You know, just say you're sorry, or say, I really hope that things get better for you. If you don't know what to say, just don't say anything. But don't keep saying, it'll all be all right, I'm sure it'll all be all right. You don't know that. Nobody knows that. I'm trying not to be too hard on people. I'm trying to sort of be, well, put yourself in their shoes, what, you know, they might not understand. But at this moment in time, I find it really hard. But I've come to the conclusion, as much as I don't want to, that I will have to censor how much I say to people, because I don't think they will get it. And that's okay, because I shouldn't expect everyone to get it. But at the same time, knowing that, I need to be careful of what I share, because I know that I will be left disappointed. You know, if I share my deepest fears or my, you know, my worries, my reflections about how this has left me feeling, I know that for some people they will be like, yeah, but you've just got to get on with life, haven't you? You've just got to embrace life. And I'm not saying that isn't true, but that is such a dismissive thing to say when somebody is struggling with a diagnosis like this. And I liked, so these rainbows coming out of the flowers, for me, that was kind of the sharing aspect. But then I think this is an beaver, but the otter is holding close one of the flowers, and I like that. That's me kind of just holding close those precious things that I don't want to share and I don't want to be tarnished by other people. And then lastly, I pulled this one, and this is My Body, My Body, My Earth. Now, early into my diagnosis, my entire physical body, I felt like I was free falling. I felt like I was trying to grab hold of something, get a foothold on something, and I felt totally out of control. And I've never felt something like that in my life, and it was awful. That has come in waves. It's not as strong as it was right at the beginning, but there have been times where I've felt like that, and my response has been to try and just do things and get things done and try and be in as much control as possible to help me feel better. And so this card just helped me reflect on that, really. And also trying to listen more to my body and what it needs, when it needs to rest and when it might be good for it to move and be more active. So this diagnosis really has got me thinking more about my physical body and how I can best take care of it, how I can best listen to it. And I think that it will be an ongoing process. So those are just a few of the cards that I pulled out. These are the other ones that I've yet to journal. So I've got a few more left. So that one, allowing the feelings to be there. This one is Silence. I'm not quite sure what that one will be about, but I just love the card. And yeah, there is definitely something about silence and sitting with silence and being quiet. I like this one, Seeds and Sprouts. Maybe it's about new beginnings or growing new things out of this experience. Receive. This one will be for me about receiving help, because I feel like the figure in the card is opening themselves up to receiving. They are stepping forward, and that is not something I'm good at. I'm not good at accepting help and saying, look, yeah, I need help. Roots. Again, this I think is something to do with that connection with the body and grounding. Deep cry. That probably speaks for itself. The need to have a big, messy cry, which I've not done often, but when I have, it's been really powerful. So I'll just quickly go through the rest of the cards so you can see them if you like. Like I say, what I will do once I've journaled with these cards, I will probably maybe work with them a bit differently. Maybe, I don't know, if I'm having a difficult day or if I want some guidance from the cards, then I will shuffle and pick randomly. But I felt for this first bit, it was important for me to pick the ones that really spoke to me. So this one, Song. Stoke. Create. Open, clear, beginning. Pause. Within and without. Path of ease. Eagle's view. I think also I should just say Murray in the Sky is going to be doing, I think, a full-size guidebook for this. She's working on that at the moment. And also there are going to be 4 other decks. So she's going to do them for all 5 elements. I kind of feel like now I've got this one, I'm going to have to buy the rest. But we'll see. The fire is calling. So trust. So apparently Murray worked with her. I apologise because I don't, her name isn't, is it Maritza? Maritza? She has a Patreon, and I think she asked her Patreon members to send in pictures of their cats, and then she chose one, which I think is cool. So she's co-created this with her Patreons, some of them. Fill your cup. Play is medicine. Sending and receiving. Ecosystem. Fluid stream. Fire within. I think she's done 2, so she's got the bear, and then she's also got one with a human on as well, depending on which one you want to use. Deep rest. Detach. One heartbeat. I'm sure the camera is not picking up how vibrant these colours are. Joy is essential. Perfectly in place. I love this. How cute is that? Connection. Life energy. Silent tethers. Seeing clearly. Ethereal backpack. Again, I'm not sure if the creator was unsure about putting that one in because of how cutesy it was. I'm glad she did. Vocalization. I am my own home first. Stop. My choosing. Take back your power. The divine in me says. Channel. Again, there's 2 of these. Rage. Got that one. And then you've got this one. Pieces are okay. Protection. Truth. Rise. And see, cards like this, I think, for me, will come later. I think these will resonate later for me, but some of them, yeah, not at the moment. Burn. I like this as well. I don't know if you can see the face. Yeah, you should be able to. Timeless. It's pretty. Free to be. Put it down. My friend Fear. This was another card that I journaled about. Breathe. Play as medicine. First step. Submerge. listening. I love that. I love birds, I love owls, and steady. That's the one I journaled with this morning, actually. So that's the deck. I'll put a link to Murray in the Sky's website in the description if you're interested in this deck. I think she may have copies of the Gentle Tarot on there as well. I'm finding this to be a really helpful deck at this stage in my journey, if you like. Let me know in the comments what decks you found helpful for healing journey, whether it, it doesn't have to be cancer, it can be any sort of journey that you've had to work through. Maybe it's been a big adjustment process for whatever reason. It can be anything, can't it? Let me know of any decks, whether it's tarot or oracle, that you found helpful. I hope you're all doing well, and I will speak to you soon.